Now in this video, we are going to show you pretty much everything we just showed you from the student view, but this is going to be for the teacher view. So this is what it should generally look like when you log in. So you'll notice we're logged in as our test teacher A, and there is same thing, the date. This is a little bit different from students. They only had the announcements here. For you as a teacher, you also have needs grading. And we've put a little message on here for teachers, which we control as the district level. We can change that up to whatever we would like if we need to get a message out. And as you scroll down, you'll notice that this teacher is enrolled in the curriculum courses, which every teacher should have, as well as some courses that they're teaching. So they have the ELA, math, social studies, and science curriculum. They also have 4 courses that they're teaching this year. So you'll have a course card for each course, and it looks kind of similar as the students did. Obviously, it doesn't have a current grade or progress, but it has a few different icons. So we'll go through those as well. Then they have same thing as a student. They have the menu over here that they can pick from. And then they also have over here their settings and stuff that they can control. And there are some things that teachers can change as well. So let's go through these icons on a course. So in any given course, let's look at the same course we were looking at in student B. So this is the course that student B just took and did some work in. As the teacher, I can view the course. I can go to my grade book. There are some reports that can be run. I can go to what's called a people page. I'll show you that in a minute. And I can also go to the editor, which is where I would, as a teacher, add in more assignments, anything like that I want to change or edit, anything that I've put in my course. If I go to the view, I am looking at the course exactly as it looked like for a student. So I have here everything that they saw for a student. So the view for a teacher and the view for a student are pretty much identical. Obviously, they don't have, the grades and whatnot. This is just the overall look and feel of the course. When you click these lines, since I've already picked this course, I don't have to go back home to switch to another part of this same course. I could go right to my grade book or right to, let's go to the people page so I can show you what that looks like. If you go to your people page, all that really is a list of the students in your course and then their current score and then some information about them. What's nice about this people page is that you as the teacher can edit what you want to see. And the way that you do that is you'll have all these different options up here depending on which page you are. So I'm on the people page. These are my different options. You can hover over them to see what each one is. So for instance, this one's my display options. This is where, and there's also, the tools, different, there's filters. But if I go to my display options, this is where I can decide my visible column. So I can decide what I want to see. It may or may not be helpful for me to see certain things. So I can choose to see if any of my students have accommodations, if those are entered into the system. We haven't really used those yet for teachers or students within our district. It's a new feature that just came out in the last few months. But so for right now, I don't need to see that. I definitely would like to see the score. I could see the time that they've spent in the course if I find that that's going to be something that's helpful to me. The self-assessment, I'll show you that. Some teachers use it, some teachers don't. It's kind of up to you. If you're going to see it, I suggest that you also choose to see the change date so that you know when was the last time they took it. Because if they took it 6 months ago, that's not helpful to me. But if they took it yesterday, that could be helpful. The progress, if I want to see, how far the kids are in the course, the pace and the performance aren't things that are typically too helpful for me. Again, that's, any of these options are totally and completely up to you what you would like to see. Once you've decided what you'd like to see, if you click OK, then your columns have changed for what you're choosing to see. You've decided what's helpful to you on that people page. So the people page is nice just to be able to do that. Another thing from the side of a teacher, if you have the permission to do it, this would be where you can drop students from your course. In this tools menu, you can create groups we'll get to in a second, but you can also manage enrollments. So if you're teaching a course that's not controlled by the district, some of our courses are like OCR. The enrollments in an OCR course are controlled by the district. We put kids in and take them out based on PowerSchool, so the teachers can't control that. But if you're just using this in your classroom, you can drop students. So if you know that student C left the district and moved to Brighton or wherever, you can take them out. When you choose to drop a student and click drop, it will give you a message, to make sure you want to do this. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Just so you know, when you drop a student, it doesn't delete all of their work. That's the nice feature of this. What it does on the back end is it makes them withdrawn so that we can always reactivate them for you if needed. So if student C comes back, they move back, and we know students do that often, you can always bring them back and they pick up right where they left off. So that's a nice thing that teachers can do, is to manage their enrollments, manage their grade book. Again, that's role dependent. Some people have the role to do that, they can do that, some don't. Another option that you saw in this tools menu was to manage groups. And this is something that's going to be important for you to know when you have courses. Let's say you're going to teach it on your own. You teach the same course, Algebra 1, period 2, 4, and 6. You're going to want to put all of your students into one course, and then you can group them by period. So make a group for period 1, a group for period 2. So that's something that you can do. And whenever groups are made in a course, anyone who's in that course as a teacher can see it. So if I'm the teacher of a course and I make the groups, if I have a co-teacher, they can also see those groups, which is nice. We're not going to get into making the groups for here, but just know that you can do that. So that was the people page. Also, if we go back to the grade book, you'll see those same icons. Same thing here for the grade book. So again, depending on where you are, which one of these items are, you're going to have different menu options over here. And then you'll always have the different options here. So the communicate feature is something where, as a teacher, I can send mail to the teachers, to the students and other teachers in my course if I would like. So I'm going to use the filter and say, I want to look at my e-learning course, and I have an option now to either post an announcement or send mail. So here's, if I wanted to put out a new announcement that would go to everyone in that course, or I could send mail. Now, when you send mail, you can send it to everyone in that course, just particular students, or a particular teacher that's enrolled, or all the students, teachers, and graders. So, you kind of decide what you want to do to send that mail. I'm going to cancel for a second. Some people are thinking, oh, but I want to send the same mail to all of my courses. So right here, I filtered and I'm looking at one particular course. If I want to look at every course I'm teaching and then go to send mail, then I'm in my recipients, I would have to pick per course. So you can do an announcement or email to multiple courses that you're teaching at the same time. So that's another option that teachers have. Another thing, just so that you know, there is this help menu in here. This is by the company that we've purchased this LMS from. The name of the company is Agilix. If I click that help menu, it comes up because it's also over here. It's an interactive help menu, so it's going to try to give you help for where you are, but if not, you can type something in and get help if you would like. And again, let's see, I'm going to go home. Another thing, you can do all of your grading, you noticed, in your grade book. So if I pick this course and go to my grade book, I could have done all my grading from here. So I could go straight down here and grade all these assignments. From your home page, another option that you have is when you log in, it will have a number here that says you have 4 things. Of all these classes you're the teacher in, you have 4 things that you need to grade. If you click that, then you can go through and grade them one by one here. So it's kind of up to you. Now, if you're in multiple courses, it says needs grading all. You still have this filter button where you could say, I just want to see what needs to be graded in this one course. And you notice there were 3 things, which means there was 1 somewhere else. So remember, you always have these options here that are dependent on the page that you're on. So if I go back home, so that's nice because then you can kind of watch that number. And if it goes up or down, you know something has been handed in. For you as a teacher, the announcements is just where you go see what announcements you've posted. You can delete them, add new ones, and whatnot. The last thing that you can do as a teacher when you're logged in, same as a student, you can click on your name and go change some of your settings, choose a theme, and that. So I'm going to go in as a teacher and go to your settings. The settings for the students are a little bit different. They don't have all the options. One of the things that you'll definitely want to do is put in a picture, because there's nothing worse than as a student having, your teacher icon just be this. All the students are going to change it, so you should change it as well. So make sure that you put in a picture here, and then go through and look at all the other options that you have, and these change. So recently they just added in these notification settings that you can decide when you want to get maybe an email or a text message. If you want, you can put in your cell phone number. If you're a teacher, do you want text message or an email daily or weekly when students submit something, when their grade changes, all that. So you can change all of this in here. I'm just going to cancel out of here for now. The other option you had was to change a theme. Basically, that's just the color. So up here, the default is a blue, If I want to change it, to a purple and save, that's going to change my theme, so I can do that. I can change my password, just so that for passwords do not change. Those are set to whatever you have decided to put it as. It's not linked currently with your district password, so it doesn't change, every 6 weeks or whatever. So for your e-learning, it's whatever you would like it to be. So that is what it looks like, a quick overview of what it looks like when you log in as a teacher.